She was the world's most photographed woman, but almost no one saw the real her. A dazzling smile that hid a universe of secrets, a laugh that echoed with unshed tears. We saw the icon, the bombshell, the star. But who really was Marilyn Monroe, the woman beneath the shimmer? What did the relentless flash of the cameras never truly capture? Why did a life so luminous spiral so tragically out of control? And whisper it softly, could it all have been prevented? The story you think you know is only a fraction of the truth. Before the world knew her as Marilyn Monroe, she was Norma Jean Mortensen, a name whispered in shadows of a fractured childhood. Born into uncertainty, her early years were a kaleidoscope of foster homes, each move a fresh wound, each goodbye deepening loneliness. She was a girl adrift, yearning for an anchor in a world often cold. This wasn't a fairy tale, it was a testament to quiet resilience, a deep need to find where she belonged, to be truly seen. Los Angeles of her youth was a city of dreams. And Norma Jean, despite hardships, dared to dream big. She learned early that survival meant adaptation. The camera, initially a way to earn modest modeling income, became her first confidant, a partner in a nascent transformation. Here, the seeds of Marilyn began to sprout. Norma Jean was shy, Marilyn confident, radiant. Marilyn Monroe wasn't just a name change, it was profound self-invention, a persona to conquer a world that had overlooked the girl within. Her ambition was a fierce burning light. She pursued modeling with tenacity, her face gracing countless magazine covers, a beacon of emerging glamour. Then came early acting gigs, small roles showcasing a spark, undeniable magnetism. She was learning, absorbing, honing her craft with dedication few recognized. Fame, when it flickered, was the dream chased through years of obscurity. Yet as the spotlight found her, a tension formed. This dream so sought was also a heavy cloak, a burden growing with every flashbulb, but behind her megawatt smile, darkness was quietly brewing. The ascent of Marilyn Monroe was meteoric, a phenomenon Hollywood hadn't seen, but the higher she soared, the more the woman, Norma Jean, felt the dizzying isolation of the summit. Her heart, so often a source of her on-screen warmth, sought solace in love, hoping to find the stability her childhood lacked. Her marriage to baseball legend Joe DiMaggio was a collision of worlds, the quiet, intensely private sportsman and the world's most public woman. The passion was undeniable, a fierce, protective love on his part, a yearning for sanctuary on hers. Yet, the glare of her fame, her public existence, became an unbearable pressure point, fracturing their dream of a simple life. Later, her union with playwright Arthur Miller promised an intellectual haven. Miller saw beyond the glittering facade, recognizing the keen intellect and poetic soul within Marilyn. For a time, it seemed she had found her anchor, a partner who cherished her for more than her image. But even this intellectual sanctuary couldn't fully shield her from the relentless demands of being Marilyn. The film industry, while capitalizing on her unparalleled allure, simultaneously trapped her. She was the quintessential blonde bombshell, a label both golden ticket and gilded cage. Studios typecast her, pushing roles emphasizing sexuality, often at the expense of her dramatic aspirations. Marilyn Monroe yearned to be taken seriously as an actress, to explore complex characters, prove she was more than just a beautiful face. This deep desire, this constant battle for artistic respect, fueled her inner turmoil. Behind the scenes, accounts paint a picture of profound emotional vulnerability. Her insecurities, rooted deep in her past, were magnified by relentless scrutiny. She famously said, "I restore myself when I'm alone," a poignant admission of the exhaustion from constantly performing. The loneliness wasn't just physical, it was being misunderstood, the world adoring a crafted image while the real person felt unseen and increasingly fragile. The world saw the platinum hair, the breathy voice, the iconic wiggle. What it consistently, almost willfully ignored was the sharp, inquisitive mind of Marilyn Monroe. This wasn't an accidental oversight, it was a convenient narrative, keeping her neatly packaged as a delightful, if perhaps vapid, sex symbol. The reality was far richer and more complex. Norma Jean, and later Marilyn, harbored a profound love of literature. Her personal library was extensive, filled with works by literary giants like Joyce, Whitman, Camus, and Freud. She wasn't just collecting books, she devoured them, annotated them, engaged with the ideas. She filled notebooks with her own poetry, introspective verses revealing a sensitivity few suspected. Her curiosity extended to psychology, a natural inclination perhaps born from her own tumultuous inner world and her desire to understand human nature. She wasn't merely a passive consumer of culture, she actively sought intellectuals, forming genuine connections with figures like Carl Sandburg and Truman Capote. She craved stimulating conversation, a respite from the often superficial interactions demanded by her Hollywood persona. This thirst for knowledge, for intellectual engagement was a vital part of who she was, a facet deliberately downplayed by a studio system profiting from her simpler, marketable image. Frustrated by imposed limitations, Marilyn took a bold, revolutionary step for an actress of her era. She formed her own production company, Marilyn Monroe Productions. This wasn't just a business venture, it was a declaration of independence, a fight for better roles, creative control, for the right to shape her own artistic destiny. She wanted to tackle characters with substance, prove her versatility, show the world the actress she knew herself to be. Her relationship with fame and femininity was complex. She understood her image's power, even as she felt constrained by it. She wielded her femininity strategically, yet privately yearned to be seen beyond its dazzling surface. She wasn't just a blonde bombshell, she was building an empire until everything unraveled. The empire Marilyn Monroe was so fiercely trying to build stood on increasingly shaky ground. The pressures were immense, a relentless tide threatening to pull her under. Hollywood, the dream factory that had manufactured her image, became a source of immense strain. Studios focused on box office returns were often unsympathetic to her artistic needs and her growing fragility. She faced constant battles over scripts, directors, and the very nature of her career. Betrayals, personal and professional, cut deep, eroding her trust and amplifying insecurities. Her struggles with mental health, an issue often whispered about but rarely understood in that era, became more pronounced. Chronic insomnia plagued her nights, a cruel irony for a woman whose image was meant to embody effortless allure. To combat sleeplessness, numb anxiety, and get through demanding days on set, she turned to prescription medications, particularly sleeping pills and barbiturates. What began as a crutch soon became a dangerous dependency, a shadowy companion in her increasingly isolated world. The lines between remedy and poison blurred, her judgment clouded by substances meant to bring relief. Then came swirling rumors connecting her to the highest echelons of power, the Kennedy brothers. These alleged entanglements, romantic liaisons, or complex political maneuverings added another layer of intrigue and immense pressure. The truth of these relationships remains shrouded in speculation, but their existence or perception likely contributed to growing paranoia, a feeling of being watched, manipulated, and ensnared in games far beyond Hollywood's glitter. Her final days are a tapestry woven with conflicting accounts, hopeful planning for future projects interspersed with deep despair. We know she grappled with immense emotional pain, battling addiction, and feeling increasingly cornered. What we may never fully know are the precise circumstances that led to that fateful August night in 1962. Was her death an accident, or something more sinister? Marilyn Monroe's light extinguished far too soon at 36, yet her incandescence lingers. Her impact on feminism is debated, victim or subverter. But her redefinition of Hollywood glamour is undeniable. Fashion still bows to her influence, her style timeless. Artists and stars, from Madonna to modern icons, continually draw inspiration from her complex narrative, recognizing the power in her crafted image and the poignant vulnerability of Norma Jean. We still grapple with the dichotomy, the dazzling Marilyn Monroe versus the introspective woman. Her tragic death is a stark warning about fame's consuming nature, mental health under scrutiny, and the universal quest for authentic identity. The legend of this Hollywood legend forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about celebrity culture and its human cost. She showed the profound pressures faced by those in the spotlight, the often unseen struggles. Marilyn's story reminds us that behind every public figure is a human, longing for understanding. Her vulnerability, once hidden, now fuels her enduring appeal. The world adored Marilyn Monroe, but Norma Jean desperately needed to be seen. In the end, Marilyn was searching for what we all are, to be seen, heard, and loved for who we truly are. If this side of Marilyn Monroe surprised you, let me know in the comments. What part of her hidden story resonates most? What do you think really happened to her? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. More untold stories are coming soon. Who would you like to see next?